Meanwhile, we're going to show you some exclusive pictures. We're going to take you down to Washington, D.C. It's a Fox News alert. Remember when Greg Abbott said in Texas that if the federal government is going to drop migrants off in Texas, we will provide them free bus rides to our nation's capital? That is a bus with 2 or 3 dozen migrants on board. We believe
it just rolled into Washington.
It just rolled into Washington. I think they initially wanted to drop off the migrants at the U.S. Capitol, but I think as close as they could get would be near Union Station.
They're being processed on the bus.
They're being processed. They're inside right now.
It kind of looks like a Columbus Circle right there. So that is what Jen Psaki referred to as, well, that's just a publicity stunt.
Nope, it's not.
That's not going to happen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is happening right now.
But only 3 dozen? 36? We're going to be having 18,000 a day.
Didn't he say, well, the governor said he has 900 buses ready to go, I believe. Was that the number?
Yeah.
It was hundreds of buses ready to go. So this is a wider shot of that bus. And inside you have these migrants from Texas. They all, and the governor of Texas said, I will ask them. I'm not going to force them to go, but if they want to go to D.C., we're offering them free transportation.
Yeah. You know, Ron DeSantis also announced yesterday that he's got $12 million of money in the new budget for Florida. $12 million.
Someone's getting off.
Yeah, so that's the guy that processed them. It looks like one of the DEA agents.
So anyway, $12 million for Florida's Department of Transportation to relocate people who were dropped off in Florida. And now
this guy has a backpack.
Well, at least he has a mask on. He's being responsible as he sneaks into our country illegally. So there you go.
That was in Texas. Now they've been transported here.
They're into our country illegally.
I don't know why they would be. I don't know that Border Patrol would be processing them in Washington, D.C. They've already been processed.
Maybe just to get names, find out who's on board,
Maybe.
that kind of thing.
It could be somebody from one of the NGOs who's trying to provide them with, you know, okay, when you're here in Washington, D.C., go to this location if you need help.
Or, yeah, the NGOs who are funded by taxpayer dollars. These are private organizations like Catholic Charities who are getting tens of thousands of dollars in order to give everyone a fresh set of clothing, toiletries, and a phone. This way they make sure it's fully charged before they get their free bus ride into the nation's capital, into the world's premier nation.
Everyone getting off has this manila envelope. Right?
Why wouldn't everyone go? Get this, there's caravans right now queuing up in Honduras en route to our country because Title 50, look, I'm glad they have some friends, because Title 42 is about to evaporate on May 23rd. This is outrageous. Think about all of the places in our country where we could be using this money. Instead, we're financing illegals to come into our country and then go possibly onto our social services.
Are they wearing some sort of a bracelet that has their information on it?
No, it looks like the office. You know, what is interesting is, you know, as they come off the bus, they're embracing these people. I think the people in the dark brown shirts could be members of Texas law enforcement or chaperones who escorted these people to our nation's capital. And they do appear to be taking a picture of something that man is holding up.
There's only 36, so it is somewhat of just an idea of what's going to be happening. The question is there any system? Because if they're going to flood into Washington, D.C., it's going to force Washington, D.C. to do a move. I get it. But if you've ever been to Washington lately, they're giving Los Angeles a run at the most homeless. So you have these encampments, which are mini cities there. What's going to happen to these people?
Well, many of them have relatives here, Brian, and they might have called their family and said, I'm coming to live with you.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe the Smithsonian's there. I'm sure there's a lot to see, learn about their new nation and our rich history.
And it looks like he's cutting off one of the little wristband, you know, the kind of thing you get in a hospital when you're admitted. Obviously, when you're processed at our southern border, you probably get something like that as well. Let's see if they process this guy. Yep, he's got the wristband as well. That the fella on screen right, apparently with a smartphone, is taking a picture of the barcode on that man's wrist.
Right, and
so
obviously
that they know who is there.
some of the NGOs are getting sporting equipment. Maybe they're going to Dick's Sporting Goods and able to use some taxpayer dollars so these new immigrants look as though they can, in case they have gym today, they'll be able to work out.
Well, Ron DeSantis is also saying that he's sending illegals out of Florida. At one point he talked about Delaware. Another time he said Martha's Vineyard. He just wants Biden to see what Florida is dealing with as well.
And this looks calm, but this is not a calm situation. If you go to the border, they are throwing up their hands. They cannot keep up with the 3,000 they're getting a day in Texas. Get ready for 18 or more thousand. And then you hear about this story. Migrants are slated to gather in Honduras in the capital, San Pedro, set out about 5 a.m. today towards the Guatemala border, where a second caravan was set to leave Honduras on Monday, April 18th. It's unclear if the caravans are setting at this time to try to reach the USA.
Right.
Just in time for May 23rd. Come one, come all. No reason to stop you. Joe Biden's never been there, but he says you can stay here.
Another observation of everybody we saw come off the bus that flies in the face of what has been told to us by the White House, and that is, you know, they always go, well, we're only letting women and children and family units in. We've only seen single men so far. We've seen 5 people. They're all single adult men. So where are the families? Apparently they did not take Greg Abbott up on the offer for the free bus ride to Washington, but that's it. As people hop off, we believe, on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, this is not a great feeling. I mean, I don't love the fact that there's a whole bunch of people waiting to get admission into our country the right way. And because of the spat between the governor and the president, we're getting a whole bunch of people who just got a free bus ride right to Washington, D.C. on a beautiful spring day. So what lesson is that if you're watching in Mexico, Central America, Russia, Ukraine? Don't even go through our system. This is how you get here. Seems like fun.
So if you're just joining us, we've been talking all week about how the governor of Texas said, I've got all these buses and we can't handle all these illegal immigrants, so we are going to offer them free rides to D.C. if they want to get on one of these buses and join their family or go into D.C. and not stay in Texas. This is the first bus that we have seen that is rolling into Washington as we speak. We got word, this is a Fox News exclusive. Our reporter Bill Malugin has a source that is giving him this information, and he's a great reporter and told us to have our cameras there, and we did. So we're getting this exclusive video right now of these illegal immigrants that are now going to be living in the Washington, D.C.
Right,
area.
we're going to be paying for it, and I'm sure Joe Biden hopes they become his voters.
Well, there you go. We will continue. That could actually be a woman right there.
Looks like a lady.
So there was a woman on board the bus as well. All right, we will keep you posted as more details come in. You know, we're just sitting on a couch watching TV trying to figure it out. We're going to try to get some more details about what we just saw.
Ron DeSantis, as I mentioned, he said he's going to send people to Delaware or to Martha's Vineyard, and now he's saying they have the money in the budget. He has his budget recommendations that he tells the legislature about, and he told them, and they agreed with him. So the state legislator's budget includes $12 million for Florida's Department of Transportation to relocate illegals.
It's unbelievable it's come to this. What an embarrassment. Still